I'm a technical director for White October. I'm also a conference organiser. I organise jQuery UK. I'm not here today to talk to you about that. I'm here today to say I'm a developer. But why am I a developer? What took me down that path? For me, it started here, on the floor in my living room with a ZX Spectrum plugged into the computer, into the family television with my dad. I'm sure it's a story familiar to a lot of people in this room. But I think we, as an industry, should be inspiring every kid to do this, to learn to code. And it'll make such a difference to our industry in the future. I'm here today to talk to you about an initiative that's hoping to do that. I'm here today to talk to you about Code Club. The slides are a bit short. That's an A. Anyway, so it's a volunteer-led initiative looking to set up a network of after-school clubs in a primary school environment, introducing kids to programming. We're targeting the last couple of years of primary school, so ages 9 to 11. Its goals include giving every primary school child the chance to learn to program, inspire kids into making things digitally. Okay, might be able to fix that. Anyway, yes. Thanks, AV guys. He was moaning about the Macs earlier. So inspiring kids to make things digitally, tinkering with computers, building websites, building games. And by 2015, have 25% of UK primary schools running a code club. So what's a code club? How do they work? Well, as developers, we know we can prove everything with maths. So I have a formula which will explain everything. Okay? It's quite complicated, so I'm going to break it down. Okay? So first of all, that's volunteers. That's me, and that's you guys, which I can't see behind the lights. We need a venue. So that's a school classroom, usually, stuffed with computers. We've got projects. Those are provided by Code Club, and I'll talk about those in a minute. And we've got kids. I don't need to tell you where those come from, hopefully. With that, we have a Code Club. So the projects, that's a key part. So they're designed and developed by Code Club and given to you as volunteers. They're broken down into terms. So the first couple of terms introduce the kids to programming through Scratch. Then they move on to HTML and CSS. Don't drop the clicker. And then to Python. I don't have time today to talk to you about all the different tech. I'm just going to focus on Scratch today. So Scratch, if you don't know, is a drag-and-drop programming environment. It introduces kids to simple programming concepts like loops and decisions and variables and events. It's also got animation, so they build games. And that's mostly what the Code Club worksheets are based on building games. So this is an example worksheet designed by Code Club for Whack-A-Mole, but you're whacking witches instead. You can see it's really nicely laid out. It's broken down into simple sections. In the first term, the worksheets will drive the kids with code examples to making a game. So it doesn't matter how fast or how slow the kids are, as long as they follow the code examples, by the end of it, they'll have a working game and a thing they've made themselves, which is hugely rewarding, and the kids get a massive kick out of building this thing. And the kids work independently on these sheets, and they're really used to doing that, so it's not much of an effort for a volunteer. Your job is just to make sure they've read stuff, because they don't read anything, and just, well, you've done code examples on the website. Anyway, so your job's just to help them bug test and things like that. They've more advanced kids will rattle through the steps really, really quickly. But Code Club have thought of that and put challenges along the way without the code samples, and just to push the kids. In this game, it was things like make the witches randomly disappear and make them go faster and slower. The kids love Scratch, and by the end of the first two terms, they're making things on their own and really enjoying it. And as a volunteer, I get a massive kick out of it. I so enjoy running my code club. So here's some snapshots from my code club. It's in a school called Dr. South's in Oxfordshire, tiny little school, 100 pupils in total. The interesting thing about my relationship with Dr. South's and theirs with Code Club is there was none existing to begin with. And what I mean by that is I didn't know the school. It's not my local village. My kids are not planning to go there. And the point I'm trying to make is that if you're considering volunteering, but you don't know a school, it doesn't matter. Schools are well set up to deal with professional volunteers like you guys, and they will bite your hands off if you want to do this. I'm not joking. It doesn't... and also, on the codeclub.org.uk website, there's a list of schools looking for a volunteer. But if your school that you're interested in isn't listed on there, it just means they don't know about Code Club. So don't be put off and do consider volunteering. And if you do, you make this robot even happier than he already is. This is our growth graph. We launched with 120 clubs in September last year. We've been growing 100 a month. That looks like this across the country. 1,300 clubs. I find that the most interesting statistic about all the numbers we have is that 40% of the kids are girls, and I think that's going to make a huge difference to our industry in the future. So I haven't convinced you to run a code club yet. I've got one more trick up my sleeve. I've got a video from the kids. It's a couple minutes long. We'll play it now, and I'll be back once it finishes. So hopefully this works.
Background dash color colon hashed 8BD084 semicolon. Open pointy bracket. Image source equals quotes codeclublogo.jpg quotes / close pointy bracket. Margin dash left column 300 pixels semicolon. Open pointy bracket P, close pointy bracket. Mission, inspire kids to learn code. Vision, create a nationwide after-school coding club for children aged 9 to 11. Open pointy bracket / P, close pointy bracket. Open pointy bracket. Video autoplay source equals quotes mum.mp4, quotes close pointy bracket.
It's incredibly important that kids know how to code. It's a practical skill, like learning another language, that can be used in all sorts of industries when they're older, but it isn't currently being taught in schools. So Code Club makes it fun for them to learn with their friends after school. To find out more and how you and your child can get involved, just click the button.
Open pointy bracket ahref equals quotes http / codeclub.org.uk quotes close pointy bracket open pointy bracket image source equals quotes button.png quotes / close pointy brackets open pointy brackets / a close pointy brackets. Click.
I love that video. So that's all I've got. Visit the website, follow us on Twitter, do consider volunteering. I'm going to be here all day. I'm in this stupid bright green t-shirt, so you'll be able to spot me. Do come and say hello, ask any questions. If you run a code club, do come and say hello and swap stories. Okay, well, that's it. Thanks.